It is a gorgeous day for detail. We have a 2024 Subaru Forester Wilderness Edition in for our Graphene Pro Coat 2.0. Now, this is a up to 10-year durability claim on a ceramic coating, and I know a lot of you are immediately going to say, that's not going to happen.
You are fake news, sir.
More than likely, it's probably not going to last 10 years. A lot of times, these manufacturers are coming up with durability claims within a lab. It's a safe environment. It's very hard to kind of expose it to what we see in the real world. Road salts, automatic car wash soaps, aggressive soaps, lack of maintenance, water spotting issues. You can go through a list of issues that can affect the performance and durability of a ceramic coating. But I've actually had this coating on my husband's truck. I think we're close to 2 years at this point, and the coating looks like day one. So I've been testing it in the real world. His truck, and in fact, let me show you his truck real quick for those of you that might be doubting. Just give me 1 second. So y'all know my vehicle. We're testing over 30 different ceramic coatings on it, and all the coatings at this point look fantastic except for the one that failed. You can see the part of the roof that hasn't been coated. Right here we have our C6 Hydro light. On the right side of the vehicle we have nothing. So I don't know why. This just brings me so much joy to see. Right here, this entire vehicle is coated with the Graphene Pro Coat 2.0, and I actually haven't washed this truck in like 3 weeks. It was due for a wash. It was starting to get really dusty and dirty, and my husband drove it in the rain the other day, and when he came home, it was dry, and it looked like it had just been washed. That's the beauty of a good ceramic coating, but these beads, they look fantastic. So for those of you that have wanted to see a quick update, I have a video where I shared with you guys what it looks like being washed, but at almost 2 years, this is our Graphene Pro Coat 2.0. Even on our trunk, we have nice hydrophobics. So very impressed with what I have seen in the real world with this coating. But that's why I have confidence in being able to sell this coating to my customers, knowing that they're gonna see at least 2, 3, 4 years out of the coating, at least if it's properly maintained. Manufacturers sometimes will even claim that a coating can last a lifetime on a vehicle. There's a lot of elements that go into that. How long are you gonna actually keep the vehicle? Most people are only keeping their vehicles for 4 to 6 years. So realistically, are we going to see this vehicle for 10 years to know if it's going to perform? Probably not, but I can at least feel confident knowing I'm applying a quality coating to my customer that I know he's going to love maintaining it. On our Forester, we have our beautiful Horizon Blue Pearl color, a ton of plastic trim pieces that we need to pay special attention to. We also have black matte wheels that the customer wants me to ceramic coat, so we're going to be testing out a new wheel coating. We also are going to polish our trim and matte stickers because we do have some water spotting issues on this vehicle that we're going to address. So for those of you that have water spotting issues on vinyl or matte surfaces that are sensitive to polishing, I'll share with you guys a great product to address those areas with. When I ordered the ceramic coating for this customer's vehicle, he also asked me to pick up a few products to maintain his coating with. So we picked up the Hydrographene ceramic coating. He can spray this on, rinse it off every 4 to 6 months to top the ceramic coating. For his maintenance washes, they have the Graphene Auto Wash and then their Graphene Detail Spray as a drying aid. Incredible slickness and lubrication with this product. Now let's go ahead and get her washed and prepped. As always, we start off touchless cleaning our door jambs with Dark Fury. Then we're going to clean our tires, wheels, and wheel wells. We're using Oberk tire to remove the browning from our tires and Purist wheel and iron remover. This is going to clean and help prep our wheels for the ceramic coating later on in the detail. Because we have protection on there, I'm trying to weaken it a little bit, so we're using CarPro Reset. While this is typically safe for ceramic coatings, this does help remove some toppers just to try to help you see what's really going on with your ceramic coating. I'm trying to assess just how bad the water spotting issues are with this because the customer said he had a slight concern that before he applied his protection, there were some water spotting issues on the paint, and then he locked it in with his protection. So we're going to do a really thorough wash. Then we'll come in, do our chemical decon, clay towel treatment on all of our painted surfaces to finish our prep. To try to address some of the water spotting issues, we're going to use Shine Supply Spot Rinse. This is an acid-based water spot remover that typically, if we have mild to medium water spots, this normally does a fantastic job at treating them. We're going to rinse everything off, dry it off, pull it into the garage, and then assess our paint. So our Shine Supply Spot Rinse, it did remove some of the mild stuff, but we still had some water spots on our matte vinyl sticker that they didn't come off during that water spot treatment. So I did it off camera because I just was kind of playing around with it. You never really know sometimes with water spot treatments, but we actually ended up using IGL Delete, put some on a microfiber, just kind of massaged it in, used a rinseless wash to wipe it off, and then I actually just polished it. You wouldn't know. It's still matte. Let me show you what I used real quick. But I actually just used the App Polish 4 small drops on the red drooling waffle pad from DIY Detail. I did a very low speed, just 2 very quick passes, and we were able to remove the water spotting issues on our matte vinyl sticker. And polishing it, it didn't kind of destroy the matte look. So for those that get nervous about matte pieces, matte stickers, matte wrap, that is an option. The IGL Delete, Underdog WSP, you can use something like that to treat more aggressive water spotting issues. So technically, we've done a panel prep wipe on our matte pieces. We can use this polish on actually all of our trim pieces. Even on our side mirrors, you can see just a small kind of ghosting of water spotting issues on even the luggage rack up here, on our matte pillars. So in areas where I don't want to polish with something that's going to kind of alter the look of it, our App Polish is going to come in handy. So for those that are looking for a solution for areas like this with water spotting issues, the IGL Delete, wipe it on. You don't have to go heavy. It is one of the stronger water spot removers that I've worked with. Make sure you flush that off properly, and then the App Polish just to kind of clean it, prep it for your coating. But we can use that polish on all of our trim pieces. We're also going to be applying a ceramic coating to our wheel faces. We cannot polish our matte wheels. We could with the App Polish if we wanted to, but we intentionally clean them with a iron remover. It's basically doing the prep that we would have needed for the coating. But once we're done with our polish, we're gonna do a quick panel prep wipe of this surface just to make sure we have a really clean wheel, and then we're gonna apply a new wheel coating to demonstrate for you guys. So you can see we don't have a ton of swirls and scratches on this paint, but what we do have are water spots or mineral deposits, and they didn't want to come off with our Shine Supply Spot Rinse. We don't need to do a heavy correction, and some people would say, well, just, when you polish, it will remove them. We're going to try to chemically remove these water spots first, so that way I don't have to be as aggressive during our polishing step. Why be aggressive on a brand new vehicle if we don't have to? So I put some IGL Delete in a spray bottle. We're gonna get a bucket of water and a plush microfiber. We're gonna massage it in, see what kind of results we can get. Make sure we rinse all of that off and then use a drying towel. Shouldn't take too long to do this. We are gonna charge a little bit extra though, just because of the materials and the time. It's all over the entire vehicle. Our plastic trim, let me see if we have it on our glass. Surprisingly, it's not too bad on our glass. It seems to be mostly on our paint and our trim. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this because we don't want to put our ceramic coating down over top of this, because we will most definitely lock it in with our coating. So before we apply our protection, we need to get our paint completely stripped. You can see over here where we did do our water spot treatment on our matte, we were able to remove it. Even on our hood, it's not too bad. We do have some minor, very minor swirls. Should clean up easily. So I'm gonna try to show you guys in real time how this would look. So we're gonna try to do this with one hand, so bear with me. You can see in our light, we're just gonna do kind of this spot right here. All right, we have our IGL Delete in there, and you can see it kind of makes the water spots instantly stand out. We're just gonna massage it in, and you'll kind of see those mineral deposits breaking down. You wanna just keep massaging until you see no more spots. Even the further I work, you can just kind of see it's pointing them out, making them glaringly obvious. Don't want to let that sit on there. Off of our tinted windows. Just flush it really good. You don't want to do this treatment in direct sunlight. You don't want to let this stuff sit on there long. Obviously use common sense. But let me bring you in to show you. Now on our paint, we've removed all the mineral deposits. We just see some minor swirls that when we do our paint correction, and we're gonna actually be making contacts with the paint versus the mineral deposits, we don't have to be as aggressive, spending as much time trying to remove the mineral deposits. Now we can just focus on cleaning up the paint, and it will be a lot faster and safer for the paint. While this product is safe on most glass, I don't recommend using it on laminated or aftermarket tinted glass. We did use it on our sunroof, and we did have a little bit of ghosting left behind from that product, but once it dried, it went away, and we did polish afterwards to remove that residue. But just be cautious with a product like this on glass. Do an inconspicuous test spot first if you're concerned. And you definitely want to wear gloves with this product. I know you guys are always preaching at me to wear gloves, but this stuff, it is very acidic. It will burn your hands if you get it on you. In fact, I just got a little bit on my armpit right there, and I'm feeling it. I can feel it. So you don't want to let this sit on paint. You don't want to let this sit on glass for too long. You know, if you have tinted windows or aftermarket tinted windows, I wouldn't recommend it. We are cooler day in the shade, but we're still working section by section. But it's doing a bangarang job. It's making me look good, I'll be honest. It's making me look like I know what I'm doing. On our sunroof, it does kind of give it a little bit of a splotchy look that you're like, oh no, what did I do? But once it dries, it goes away. Everything looks good. We are gonna polish our glass before we coat it, and we're gonna put the coating on our glass as well. But now we've removed the problem of the water spots, and we're just gonna keep moving around the rest of the vehicle with this exact same process.
Now that we have chemically removed the water spots, all we need to focus on this paint is just removing the minor swirls and scratches. For that, we're using Gold Standard Polish from DIY Detail along with their Gold Waffle Pad. This is perfect for softer paints like Subarus to correct and finish down in one step. We didn't have any marring or hazing left behind. This just left a beautiful finish, and honestly, in one step, we were able to perfect this paint. In order to work efficiently, we're going to polish the entire vehicle at once, and then when we are done, wipe off all of the residue using a rinseless wash, and then follow that up with a panel prep wipe. We're also going to polish all of our glass just to make sure that we have no residue from our acid left behind and no potential water spots that maybe we couldn't see with the naked eye.
All of our paint and glass polished to remove the water spots and the protection. Now we're going to polish our trim with the app polish. This will also serve as a panel prep wipe. We're only going to do this on the trim just because there is some protection, maybe some mild water spots on the trim pieces. Basically, it's going to help remove whatever protection is still there, clean it, maybe remove some of the mild water spots, and this will help the trim absorb the ceramic coating a little bit better.
For those of you that are wondering, why didn't I use the C6 app on the paint as well as the trim? Gold Standard can be a little grabby. That's why I prefer to remove it with a rinseless wash. Plus, that helps reduce marring when you're wiping off the polish residue. But the C6 app polish, you do need to remove it with a dry towel. And again, that just adds a little bit more of a physical element to the coating process. So personally, I just like to use a panel prep wipe. Even though the C6 app polish works, I do find that a panel prep wipe is just a little bit less fatiguing on my body.
So our paint is polished. We've done our panel prep wipe on all of our paint and trim. Now we're just going to do a quick panel prep wipe on our wheel faces. This just ensures that you didn't miss anything with brake dust, and just make sure we have a squeaky clean surface. Do you have to polish your wheels before coating? No, especially these matte wheels. You could use your app polish if you needed to, because again, that polish is safe on matte surfaces. But for those that you've got a lot of defects, you know, polishing matte wheels is normally not recommended. The app polish isn't going to do much in ways of correction. It can move some mild staining, maybe bring back a little bit of gloss to it. But that's why it's really important to protect and try to preserve the finish of your matte wheels as much as possible, because there's not much that you can do to restore them without altering that kind of matte look to it, because the only way to remove scratches off of it is by polishing. So if you can at all possible, use microfiber brushes, wheel mitts, you know, have protection on there so you don't have to scrub as aggressively. That will really help preserve the look and finish of your matte wheels. So here's our Graphene Pro Coat 2.0. This is actually a bottle that has already been opened. They have about a 6-month shelf life once you have opened the bottle. About a year shelf life if it is unopened. Let's get it open. It's child safety bottles. Okay, so we do not have an orifice in this bottle. So we give it a good shake. These are nice little droppers. You can pick them up for like $2 in Car Supplies Warehouse. But for bottles like this, we're gonna get this really primed. And in between uses, we're just gonna very easily put the lid on. You don't want to let it cure in the bottle, but it's a good child safety lock, so don't secure it all the way or else you're gonna spend more time fighting the bottle. So we've got a good bit of coating on our applicator. We're going to actually start off with this matte section first. Normally I would divide a hood into quarters, but because I don't want to have possible lines or streaking or anything, we're just gonna coat all of this at once. So we're just going to outline. Now, matte stickers, typically you can coat over them with most coatings, not all, but this is safe for matte surfaces. I'm gonna actually have to reach across because my orangutan arms still can't reach over here. This will enrich the matte appearance, but it won't make it glossy. You'll see when we level, it will just have a nice even appearance. With this coating, typically you're gonna see rainbowing. I can actually see the rainbowing on the little bit that we got it on our paint. And this does have a longer working time. It's not to the point where you gotta immediately rush in and level it, but you wanna get it to about half of it where it has evaporated. You don't want to let all of the transfer solution flash off. You're gonna end up fighting it a little bit. But this actually is one of my favorite coatings to work with. The McKee's Graphene line, period, is just very user-friendly. See the area that we got it on our paint. We do have that rainbowing. You're not gonna see it on our matte, but you can definitely see it on the small bit of paint that we did get it on. So we're just gonna come in and just level. Go beyond the area that you coated. Second towel. And then we're just gonna take a third plush towel and just a very light touch, especially around our perimeter. You're not gonna see so much of that high spot on the mat. You can see our matte coating doesn't have a gloss appearance. It's just enriched but very easy to use this coating on matte. Now we're gonna come in and do this section. So we're gonna go right down the middle just to have kind of a river of coating to pull from. We're gonna actually go all the way up here. Gonna kind of meet in the middle. Some companies tell you circular motion, some tell you crosshatch pattern. Do whatever you want, whatever works for you. I'm more comfortable with the crosshatch pattern. That's what I've been doing for years. It allows me to kind of ensure. There's some that believe that the circular pattern helps avoid high spots. So if that's what you want to do, go for it. We're gonna actually do this front grill right there. So we're gonna be able to see our rainbowing very easily with this color. We don't have to really control our lights, fortunately, with this. We'll still use our softbox light at the very end to kind of inspect, but this is a pretty forgiving coating. Even if you miss a high spot, you can kind of reactivate it with a fresh, quick application of coating. You can see we've got rainbowing all over. That is our signal now to come in. And that first initial wipe, you can feel a little bit to it. This is actually, that can happen sometimes. I'm working with a bottle that has been open. So sometimes when you're working with coatings that are a little bit older, your flash times are gonna be a little bit reduced. It's gonna be shorter, just because of the age of the coating. If I were to open a brand new bottle, it would probably not have as much resistance. So for those of you that maybe are working with this coating and it's maybe the second vehicle, just know your first experience working with that coating might look different than the second experience if you've got a couple weeks or months in between since when that coating was open. It's not going to affect the coating, it just might make it a little bit grabbier, or you want to just shorten that flash time because the coating is kind of a little bit further along in the curing phase. But very easy, very quick, very effortless. You can feel a considerable bump in slickness from our non-coated to our coated panel. So we're gonna very easily be able to get around this vehicle, and I think the customer is gonna love the end result.
For those of you that are new to the ceramic coating application or are looking to make the application process less stressful with risks of high spot, I recommend inspecting every panel afterwards with a softbox light. This uses indirect diffuse lights to help visibly see any sort of transfer solution or high spots left behind. This has eliminated the stress with ceramic coating for me. Sometimes I'm coating vehicles on days where the climate is just not conducive for me to pull it out afterwards to examine it for high spots. And this allows me to do that in my garage in a controlled environment.
So I intentionally left a good bit of product on the panel after just my initial level because I wanted to kind of demonstrate for you what a high spot looks like. If you're looking around like our emblem, all those streaks, kind of the rainbow effect, even that smudge right here. If you hadn't wiped off the coating all the way, these would be high spots. The light allows you though to see them and come in and fine tune it.
By the way, if you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe. We are so close to 30,000 subscribers on this channel. We're trying to mix it up between long form content and short form content, so there's something for everyone. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you subscribe. I would love for this video to help us cross that finish line of 30,000 subscribers. Now, for those of you that have matte wheels, this is one of my favorite wheel coatings to apply. It couldn't be simpler. You simply put a few drops onto your applicator, massage it evenly into the surface of the wheels. We're gonna let this sit now for anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes. You don't wanna come in and immediately level, so just give it a second, let it set up, and then we're gonna come in with 2 low GSM plush microfiber towels. You just take your first towel and do a quick level. You're gonna get a majority of the transfer solution off, and then you come in with your second plush towel and do a final touch. And just as simple as that, you've applied protection that can last anywhere from 12 months up to 2 years with a single application. This is going to give you chemical resistance, easier maintenance, and a beautiful finish look. It's not going to alter and make it super shiny. After we level, you'll see it just gives it a beautiful, refreshed satin appearance. When we're done using towels, we're gonna just soak them in our rinseless wash. Maybe you can even add a little bit of an APC. It's gonna help prevent the coating from curing on your towels. You can launder them after soaking, rags to riches, all free and clear. Even add a splash of vinegar into your fabric softener detergent kind of section, and the vinegar will help replenish the hydrophobics of your towels. Just leave everything nice and fluffy. But you can actually reuse these 1 or 2 times. Just make sure they're not crazy linting. When they get to that point, then you've broken down the microfibers, and then you can use those for wheels, for interiors, etc. It's been a long day. We're all done. We're gonna let it sit. 6 hours is kind of the minimum before you want to release it. It's 8:45 at night. We're gonna be able to hold it overnight. We're gonna let our wheels button up. Our coating will fully cure by morning. Hopefully we'll take a quick peek at the hydrophobics with our spray bottle, make sure everything looks nice and tight. But we're all done for the night. Tomorrow, tire dressing, glass, and then the final reveal. So, good night. We'll see you in the morning. And since we have a graphene coating on our paint and even a graphene coating on our wheels, we're gonna stick with that same theme and use McKee's 37, their graphene tire shine. Out of all the tire shines that I use, for some reason, this is the one that when my customers see it, they normally say, send me the link to this product because I need that for my tires. And no, I'm not doing some weird tribal dance. I'm inspecting for high spots. So here's our finished look. You can see right here, they look like high spots, but it's like condensation coming up from the trim pieces. So again, let's take a look at our wheels. Look at our paint, some of our trim. Despite having a pretty wet start to this detail and having some major issues with water spotting even on a brand new vehicle, we were able to address, correct, and now protect this vehicle so that the customer is going to have easier maintenance moving forward. He actually sent me a video sharing an update on the wheel coating, and it's performing beautifully for him. He's been giving me regular updates on the coating, and so far is loving how much easier the coatings are for him to maintain his vehicle. For those of you that have questions about any of the products or the techniques that we used in this video, let me know your questions in the comments section down below. And for any of you that want to try out any of these products for yourself, we're going to put the affiliate links as well as any coupon codes available for those of you that want to try them out for yourselves. But there you have it. We are all done with our 2024 Subaru Forester. It turned out fantastic. Hopefully the customer is going to be really happy. Hopefully we'll be able to get his reaction at the very end. I know you guys always love to see that, and
Sometimes my customers are a little camera shy, but I'm gonna try to get the reaction for you guys since he is a follower of this channel. So Ed, hopefully you've enjoyed this video, sharing with you a little bit of what we had to deal with your Subaru to get it prepped for you. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and the notification bell off to the side so that way you don't miss out on any of our future details or videos. Thank you guys as always for watching. We'll see you in the next detail. That was very Pan the Organizer, but we'll see you guys in the very next detail. Have a great day.
This is the part that you never see on the video. It's a smile on the customer's face.
Well, I'm filming.
Oh,
If you want, I can include it.
Did you film the work yesterday?
I did. I was going to do a video
So
on it.
I'm going to be a video.
You're going to be a video, Ed.
Wow.
So, what do you have for me?